Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to talk about valuing yourself over um, like toxic relationships. If it's family, if it's friends, what do you think is a good resolution to how long you should allow someone to stay in your life, even if they are family members? One of the things that I was going over lately and that I have discovered that made me question this is because I find that sometimes when you have conflict with a person and you've resolved it and that person may have not resolved it, is it um, healthy for you to stay in a relationship with somebody that has unresolved issues with you? Like you can talk to someone, I feel like, and if you have a misunderstanding and every time they have a misunderstanding you gotta backtrack on what the relationship is, or you gotta define what you mean to that person, I think that's an unhealthy relationship. And I feel like if you are in a relationship where every time a person feels some type of way, they don't point it out with other people, but they point it out with just you. So for an example, if you have a girlfriend that anytime you say something and she feels like what you said, like every little thing, she nitpick every little thing that you do, that's not your friend. But anybody else, it just rolls off her shoulder. I think that that is a relationship that you need to let go, and it doesn't serve you. And I think that is a waste of energy and time. I think there is room for forgiveness. I think that when you forgive somebody, I think you should just let it go, let the past be the past, and just move on. Sometimes you have people, I feel like, in life that want to drag things out because they always want to hear they always want to get their point across, and it's like, is that really necessary? Like, I'm the type of person where I feel like if we are friends, and if something in a relationship isn't life changing, if nobody slept with nobody's man, if I didn't steal nothing from you, if I didn't hurt you, um, if I didn't do anything that was disloyal, um, what's the issue? There has to be an underlying issue with that person, or for me to even care. Like, you ever have a relationship with somebody and they want to bring up old things and you totally forgot the reason why you even had a problem with that person? Like, I have a friend that I had for like 20, 25 years plus, and we were friends like all through high school. That was my very best friend. We did everything together. And now that we're grown, like, she's moved to another state, I've moved to another state. But there was a lot of things I think about when I was younger that she did now, because I went through a lot of counseling, over the years, things that have happened and I've resolved. But I have never seen that. I haven't seen her in like 10 to 15 years, right? So the person just called me out the blue and was like, "Hey, I got your number from my sister. How you been doing?" And then I thought about it, like came back to me like a ton of bricks. And that right there matters, because if it's something that somebody did to you that was in depth in your life, like there was a time in my life where I'm sorry guys, I was eating cookies. There was a time in my life where that person um did a lot of shady things to me when I was younger, because I was naive and I didn't realize them until I went through counseling, and I found out where a lot of, my distrust came from, especially with women. And I've never addressed them because I haven't seen her in 10 and 15 years. Now, in order to have a friendship, or if that person say, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?" Now I think that is appropriate to bring up certain things, but not to bring it up in a way that it causes someone to feel like you're doing this, but to say, "Hey, you know what? I went through a lot of counseling and I discovered there are some things that me and you I've never told you that really hurt me." And you just talk about it and you move on. Now, that's worth bringing up. But if you are siblings and you bicker, and you may have had little things that rubbed you the wrong way when you were younger, if it wasn't something detrimental to your life, I think that is childish, it's petty. You just need to move on. Brothers and sisters are going to bicker, they're going to fight, but if you love each other, it's a different level of respect where you just say, "Okay, I know that person loves me. It's not that serious." But when you have those issues, I just read something the other day, my daughter just brought to my attention. It's a celebrity where the sisters don't get along. They have a celebrity father and they don't get along with each other. If you're in a household, or if you're raised by two different mothers, sometimes there is conflict between the parents, and they can pull the children into it. And I think that that is where children get mixed up and they get put into the mix of things, and that can also be another reason. But I'm the type of person where I feel like if I love you and you're my family member, there's nothing you can do to me unless you've harmed me physically, or you've humiliated me, or did something to me that really stained my heart, like I could never get over. Other than that, I think people are nitpicking. I think that in order to grow in life, you have to know that in order to basically have less stress in your life, you have to let things go and you have to just move on. If it's not that important, if it's not something, like I said, that was detrimental to your life, then why even bring it up? So what I'm saying in my situation, where my friend, when I was younger, she did some things to me where I can say physically bodily harm, but at the time I didn't see that she had set it up, but she set it up. And I saw it, but I was so naive back then. I couldn't believe my friend would do that. But now that I see when I'm older, yes, she did that. Those are things that you would say, okay, that mattered to me. And I don't think I would ever trust that person like in my, in my inner circle, but we can, go have lunch as long as we resolve that issue. But this is where I'm at with it in my life. I feel like when a person loves you and they're your family member and they keep on bringing up issues with you, there is a deeper person, there's a deeper reason, or there's something going on with them, the reason why they keep doing that. And I don't think that's a person that you should be how can I say, I don't think you should invest a lot of time, because the only thing it's going to do is pull you down. It's going to cause you to have more stress, and then all the time you're going to be back in the same position. Because if a person can't take for um, the first conversation that, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I apologize if there's anything you're feeling, or blah blah blah, that I didn't mean it that way. I could see it once, maybe twice, but if the person continues to bring up things and they can't get over certain things, and every time you get around them, you resolve something, and then there's something else behind it, that person has an issue with you, or it's within themselves, that when they come around you, they're just not confident in their own self. So that's one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, because it is a Friday girls night, and I just felt like I wondered if anybody else is having those thoughts or those feelings. And I just want you to know, whoever out there, that you have to stay prayed up, and that you have to understand that whenever you are getting ready for a breakthrough, or you're doing good in your life, or when the enemy sees that God has something good for you, you are going to be under attack. And there are going to be those seeds that are planted out there to stop you in the middle of your tracks, so that you don't receive your blessing, or they're trying to stop you. Nothing can stop God's blessing from touching you, but sometimes along the way, you will have trouble. You will have those people that try to make you stumble. They don't know they're being used, but the enemy knows that they're using them to do that, to distract you from what God has coming for you, or what your blessing is going to be. So I just want to say that make sure you keep your eyes open. Make sure you're aware when you have people around you that do those things, because all it is an attack from the enemy. And the more that you gravitate towards God, or the more that you just focus on your goals and the things and the person that He wants you to be, there are going to be so many more people that are going to form weapons against you, but you cannot let them prosper. So I hope everyone is having a great Friday night. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Thanks for Girls Talk, and I hope you come back soon. Bye.